Hey guys, welcome back to my prom night reviews, and next up I'm going to review Prom Night 2, Hello Mary Lou, which is one of the coolest and weirdest names for a horror movie I've ever heard. I love that name. I just love how it's Prom Night 2, Hello Mary Lou. Like, that's just such a hilarious name. Um, I want to point out before I talk about the actual movie, I want to point out that this movie is not connected to the first Prom Night movie and originally was not as originally conceived as a prom night movie. It was called The Haunting of Hamilton High, I believe, which was the original title for it. This reminds me a lot of Troll, the 1986 film Troll to Troll 2, where Troll 2 is not connected in any way to Troll 1, and it doesn't even have trolls in it. It's goblins in Trolls 2, but it's literally the same thing where, like, there was a movie that was somewhat made money. Did Troll even make money? But anyways, Prom Night, I guess, made money, so they decided to call it Prom Night 2 and make it a sequel. Kind of. It's not even connected to it. It's not even, it's probably not even the same universe. But I like, even though it did that, that's totally fine. It's just one of those sequels where, it's cribbing on the fact that it's connected to something that's not connected to it. It's got the name because it needs brand recognition, and that's it. So yeah, it's just kind of a funny thing to point out. Um, I like the beginning of the movie. I like how it starts out in 1957, and since it's a prom night sequel, it's got a prom at the beginning of the movie and at the end of the movie. And we got that really catchy song "Tutti Frutti," which, if you hear the song, hear the movie, or if you hear the song in the movie, pardon me not being able to say anything, but if you watch the movie and hear the song, like, it's a pretty catchy song. It reminds me of the first one where it's prom night, everything is all right. Like, it's another type of catchy song for this movie, and I like how they did that, kept that going with this sequel. Um, and Mary Lou, she for some reason cheats on this guy she's with at prom, so he lights her on fire and he kills her. It escalated pretty quickly. And then it cuts to 30 years later, where it's about this character named Vicky, who she's got a crazy religious mom for some reason, like Carrie, but she's definitely not as good as the mom is in Carrie, as Piper Laurie was in the original. But she has a crazy mom, kind of like in Carrie, but not like to the extent of Carrie's mom. But she's just a religious nut, just like how in Carrie she was. Now, and so she's kind of got an interesting backstory, I guess, this Vicky character. But then then it just kind of goes along with the story of, like, Vicky being pseudo possessed by Mary Lou, who had died 30 years ago, but is taking revenge on the guy who's now, I think, the principal, who was the guy from the beginning of the movie. And I thought that was cool how they have that connectivity between that. But Vicky just becomes possessed by Mary Lou, killing people off. And honestly, the kills in this are really creative and cool. Like, even though this is a simple kill, I like that girl with that kill with the girl who's about to get killed with that paper chopper thing, but then she gets hung, and, like, all the paper flying around her is really a cool image and really interesting. And I like that a lot, and I like that it's Mary Lou using supernatural ability things to kill these people off, but it's fun. And I like how Vicky keeps having these hallucinations and sees visions and sees hallucinations of what Mary Lou saw, or just creepy things like looking at, like, a bowl of something and then a head comes out of it. Like, it's pretty cool. Like, just in how unique the sequel is, I really think it's underrated. It really is, honestly, a very unique sequel. And a very unique horror movie. Like, it does a lot of cool things. Which, it's sad it just gets the reputation of being Prom Night 2. Because they called it Prom Night 2. But yeah, she does things that Mary Lou did at the beginning, like where Mary Lou's talking to the confessional at the beginning of the movie, and she's like, yeah, I fucked all these guys. Why don't you fuck me? To like the guy who's in the confessional, and then Vicky's possessed and says the same thing later. And well, again, like it's cool with her being possessed and her seeing all these horrifying things. Like there's a scene where Vicky is pulled into a chalkboard and the chalkboard is like water and like it goes upward where like she falls in and like she's just swimming around in the water. Like it's really cool. And again, this really is underrated for being a different movie, different horror movie, I think, than it gets credit for. And there's a great death of this girl who gets squished in the lockers where like she hides in the lockers and Mary Lou possessing Vicky, she's singing that song that she does. It's like the a bop bop a doo wop, and like she always says that whenever something like she's gonna kill somebody, or she says it a couple times in the movie. She sings that little tune, and I love whenever she's singing that tune at the very end. Like she goes a bop bop a woo bop a bop, and then like that noise of the lockers crushing whenever she finishes her song is really cool, and the lockers crush and stuff oozes out of it like blood. That's really effective and really cool, and I like how this again has awesome kills and just an awesome use of imagery, horror imagery in this movie. And the guy getting his face fried by the computer is silly, but it's fun. I like that, and I like, again, it's just a cool way of being a slasher that's supernatural. And it was really cool, even though this was done in Nightmare on Elm Street 2. And it's done kind of differently in this one, because it's just like a fried corpse of, like, Mary Lou. But Mary Lou starts coming out of Vicky's body, literally pops out of her body, like Freddy does in Nightmare on Elm Street 2 to Jesse. Like, I really think that's a cool kind of thing they do in this one that's similar. But she's like a charred body whenever she comes out. It's not like Freddy. Even though Freddy is burnt, but you know what I mean. And it's weird because the ending prom scene where like Mary Lou comes out and starts wreaking havoc. Again, it has a familiar territory with Carrie. Like this movie has a religious nut mother, and then it's got this this prom kind of thing where like she's throwing stuff around. With her magic powers, but it could be substituted like Carrie, where it's like she's using telekinetic abilities. So it's similar to that too, and I thought that's funny how this has a lot of Carrie similarities to it, but it still did feel on its own type of thing. It just has things that are very similar to Carrie, and I'm not like saying the movie's bad because of that. It just does a lot of things similar to Carrie, and Mary Lou at the end of the movie is vanquished, and in the end, after she finally gets her crown, it just ends because she finally got her crown. She got what she wanted. She got to be prom queen. And Vicky comes back to life, and her and Craig go happily ever after, and like go get in the car with the dad, who's the guy from the beginning of the movie in the 50s, and like. Then you see the ring, and then it's Mary Lou disguised as the guy, and like they scream and they run off, and the Mary Lou drives away with them, and it ends there. So it ends in a fun way too, and this has a lot of humor in it too. That's really fun. Like for example, whenever Mary Lou, like whenever there's a phone call and it does a voicemail, it'll beep and then it'll say, "Hi, Mary Lou here. I'm busy at the prom." And I can't remember exactly what she says, but she's like, "I'm too busy killing people. Thanks for calling," or something like. It's definitely not what I just said, but it's something like that, where like she says something really silly on the phone about killing people. Like it's funny. So I really do like the humor too, and I liked how this Mary Lou character is just a silly villain, but in a way where she's fun. Like it's a fun villain character. And honestly, rewatching this movie, I like compared to the first Prom Night movie, this one I think I like more. And the reasons why is because the first Prom Night is fine. It's totally fine, but it doesn't have a lot that makes it stand out. And this one, I feel like has such unique kills and unique horror imagery on a budget that really, really should have been, like, people should give credit to. Like, this is actually a really unique horror, like supernatural slasher. Like I like this movie, and I like these kills, and I like the visuals, and I really thought that this worked. And the first Prom Night is fine. It's just kind of generic slasher with some creepy things about it. But this one I felt like is more unique and more interesting. So that's why I like this one more than the original Prom Night. But it wasn't even supposed to be a Prom Night sequel. It just called that to bank on Prom Night. So yeah, this one rewatching it was really fun and just a really fun overall time because it had great kills, great visuals, horror imagery. The characters were fine, and I really did enjoy it a lot. So rewatching this was awesome. So I'm glad I got a chance to rewatch Hello Mary Lou Prom Night 2. So tell me down below if you guys have seen this movie, and thank you guys so much for watching.